Hello everyone and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. We are in the indoor grow space and we are just keeping that winter succession planting, harvesting, replacing plants going. And so you're coming with me while I'm just doing some of the normal things that we do to keep fresh vegetables in the winter in Southwest Ohio. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I had a few minutes and I got a little bit of this and a little bit of that to do, and I thought I'd bring you with me. And I'm going to work on a lot of different things today, doing a lot of different tasks. It's not going to all be one thing or all of another thing, but a little bit of everything today. And you're here to join me, and we're going to have a little indoor garden chat at the same time. When I say a little bit of everything, y'all, like I got my harvest basket here. I have some of my microgreens. So we're going to work on microgreens today. I also have some plants here that we're going to add to this GreenStalk vertical planter here, where we're going to take some green beans out and put some other stuff in. And I want to show you a couple of different things. I want to show you some things that aren't going very well and things for you to look for as well. So the first thing I want to do is show you a problem that I have with one of my little seedlings here. So let's start there. This little seedling right here, let's see if I can get it close enough where you can see it. This is a stonehead cabbage, and we started it from seeds. We up potted it into this space here. And this is doing something that we don't want it to do. This little plant is already going to seed. So right up the center of this plant right here, I don't even know if you can see it or not because the light is so bright in here. But going right up the center is a flower, is getting ready to flower. And we don't want it to flower. That's not what we're looking for. We want it to form a big head of cabbage. And so with it going right up the center to flower, that means it's already ready to reproduce. It's ready to create seeds. So I can't plant this, y'all. I need to take this out. There's no reason for me to continue to nurse this plant when it already has a flower going up the center. I believe the reason why this one has a flower going up the center is because I had it on one of my grow lights, or either one of these lights behind me here, these shop lights that are behind me here, and it got too warm. And when it gets too warm, your cool season crops, they want to go to seed. They are done. They're done creating that broccoli head, cauliflower, cabbage, whatever it is you're trying to grow. When it goes straight up the center, it means it thinks it needs to reproduce. So this one is no good, and I wanted to show it to you. So look in your indoor grow spaces. If you're starting to see things coming right up the center like that on your cool season crops, you need to back off on the light, or the heat, I should say, in the space that you're growing them. So I'm going to sit this one to the side. I cannot use this. So we'll get it out the way. But I wanted to show you that so that you can kind of pay attention to your garden and your indoor grow space to make sure that that's not happening to you. And I only had it on one plant. I double checked everything that I have, and it was only on this one plant, and it's a stonehead cabbage. And we planted stonehead cabbage outdoors, so I still have some coming. This one's just not coming to the party. So we'll get it out the way. The next thing that I want to talk about are my microgreens. Let's see if I can pick it up, not spill it. So here's one of my microgreen trays right here. Let's see if I don't spill it. Let's not spill it. And this backside here is empty because we ate those already. So I am going to replace that one. I'm going to go ahead and sit all the way down on the floor for this one. So yes, y'all, I like microgreens now. I find them to be quite delicious, quite delicious. So we are going to replace this one here that we ate And we start by putting in a new, I don't know, media, whatever. I don't know what you call it. But this microgreen tray is from Let Pot. They sent it to me free as a gift. And I'm supposed to get this wet. Ooh, y'all, I got to get back up. But anyway, I got to put it in here. I'm going to put the little tab down in here. The little tab is how it draws water up to keep your seeds moist. So let's get the tab down in there. But when you first start, they tell you to get it wet first. So I'm going to spray it. So I'm going to get back up. 5-point turn to get up, but we're going to get back up. So we're going to give it a spray. And when you give it that spray, it makes it want to wick up from the bottom from the little tab. Now, the first time I did this task, y'all, I didn't put enough seeds in here, so it didn't turn out well. The second time I did this task, y'all, I put way too many seeds. I put too many, but I still was able to get a harvest and enjoy them. So this time, hopefully I can put the right amount of seeds. We're going to be using the Wathram 29 broccoli seeds. I got this from Truly. There it is right there. But it's Wathram 29 broccoli or microgreen seeds. I think it's the same seeds. I mean, I don't know, from a germination rate, it might be, not as good as it would be if I was trying to grow a full head of broccoli. I'm not sure. I'm going to try not to overseed it this time. I'm going to find that happy medium. That's probably good. Maybe just one more little bit. All right, let's see if that's the right amount. So we are done with microgreens, and I'm not going to use the little cover. So they do come with a little dome. I'm not going to use it. I found that the dome is causing it to have or hold in too much moisture, and it seems like I get a little mold or something. And this definitely doesn't need a dome at all. This side doesn't. So no dome. We're just going to push it to the back here out the way, and then we will let it do its thing. Now I got to push it back there and not spill it, but that's the plan. And then we will move on to our next task. And I've been growing the microgreens down here on the floor for the last few weeks, and it seems to like this spot. So I think this is a good spot. It's still getting some light, but it's not getting a whole bunch of light. So I don't have them leaning, trying to find light or anything like that, but it seems to work here. Now let's move on to another task. So the next task that we're getting ready to get into has to deal with this yellow, or I think it's called lemon GreenStalk. It is a 3-tier lemon GreenStalk where I've been growing indoors in my indoor grow space. And we started out with lettuce in the bottom. And then we had beans. We had green beans and yellow wax beans in this layer. And in the top layer, I had cucumbers and carrots. And what else did I have up there? Cucumbers, carrots, and bunching onion. So I've already redone this GreenStalk a couple different times now, where in the bottom, I put more lettuce. So there is lettuce in the bottom down here now, but this is the second round of lettuce down here. I also have early white cauliflower down here, and behind it, y'all, I got some bok choy, which shouldn't be in here. They're growing together. The bok choy didn't come up at first for over 2 weeks. I reseeded it. It still didn't come up. So I put something else in the pocket, and guess what, y'all? It decided to come up. So there's bok choy and cauliflower in that pocket, more lettuce, and same thing over here in this pocket. This next tier here, I removed my yellow wax beans and replaced it with some lettuce in this pocket here, and more lettuce right here. And so 3 pockets of lettuce up here. There's another one. And then there's the other one there. And then I still have 3 pockets that we need to take care of. And these pockets have green beans. They're actually strike green beans in them. So if there's any good beans on here, we're going to go ahead and pull them off, and we're going to set them to the side. So this will be a little harvest as well. And we're going to put our garden, I don't want to say waste, the garden plants that we're going to need to compost. Now, I didn't pull all of the green beans up from the roots. What I did was just cut them and left the roots in here. Green beans provides nitrogen to the soil when it breaks down. So it's got to break down first, but green beans puts nitrogen back into the soil. So I'm leaving the roots in here and just cutting them out. And I will do the same thing to this side over here. And y'all, I didn't need any beans, just to be honest with you. Didn't need them at all. This was just to help other people realize that you can grow this kind of stuff indoors. So we will get these beans off of here, and we will let our little farm dog enjoy them, because I think beans, that might be her favorite vegetable, and she likes all of them, y'all. She likes all kinds of vegetables. And so we'll get these. It's not enough for me to enjoy, but there's plenty for her. And then there's just one more pocket over here. Strike beans vine. If I had known that these were going to vine a little bit, I wouldn't have put them in here. I just wanted bush plants, but they were vining. And they're still trying to grow, y'all. I got blooms right here. So it still wants to grow, but I need this pocket for something that I'm going to enjoy, considering I don't need any beans. Okay, so I got this next level cleaned up. But before I start working on this next level, y'all, I need to take care of all of these cucumbers. Can y'all see those cucumbers? Do you see them? We're going to go ahead and harvest cucumbers since we're down here. These are called Firm Secret cucumbers. They are self-pollinating, so I don't have to get down here with a paintbrush and move pollen around to get them to produce, right? So they're self-pollinating. I don't have to hand pollinate with them, because if I had to do that, I wouldn't be growing cucumbers indoors. But this is Firm Secret. We'll go ahead and harvest these. They don't get huge, but they're quite delicious. Now, I don't personally like the skin on these cucumbers, so I do cut the skin off. It's a little tough. There are some other self-pollinating cucumbers that I use upstairs in my hydroponic system, and so I'll definitely share that with you when we get up there to harvest later in this video. The cucumbers are doing well. I think that one looks pretty good. And these are not ready to harvest yet, so we're good on those. And I only have 2 pockets of cucumbers up there, y'all. Just 2 pockets. And this is my second or third harvest of cucumbers up there, I think. So now let's get back down here to these pockets and what we're going to do in these pockets. There's 3 pockets. None of the pockets in the top are empty. There's something in every one. I've added onion up here for pockets that were empty last video or last time that I did succession planting. And then the carrots are doing really well in a couple of pockets. And then cucumbers are in a couple of pockets. So I think for these 3 pockets down here, I have a few things I'm thinking about putting in there. So 3 pockets, I think 2 of the 3 pockets, I'm going to add these little veranda red tomatoes. Here's a picture of it. These are a new variety of micro dwarf tomatoes for me. I'm thinking I might not. I may change my mind. I may move them over to that other GreenStalk. Yeah, I think I'm going to change my mind. In these 3 pockets, I've changed my mind already, y'all. I think I want to add the onion. So in here, I have a couple containers that only have 2 or 3 onions growing in them. And so I'm going to put those onions in these pockets, because It doesn't make sense that I'm watering this container that's got 2 onion in it, y'all. And then this one here got maybe 6. So I'm going to move some onion to these pockets. That feels right to me. And then we'll put the tomatoes over there, and we'll put some lettuce over there as well, because I don't want to just waste the space. Something needs to be in each and every one of these pockets while we're growing indoors. So I fertilized with a granular fertilizer in this pocket just a few weeks ago, and I've been giving it a liquid fertilizer every week. So I'm not going to add fertilizer to these 3 pockets today. Instead, I'm going to just backfill this pocket. So I'm just going to add some compost to this pocket to bring it back up. So all 3 pockets, we're going to add compost. The one thing about your green stalks, or it doesn't matter, pots in general, honestly, and beds, raised beds, pots, garden beds, all of it, your soil will eventually settle and it's going to drop. And when it drops, you need to add more. And please, please, please never throw your soil away out of your pots. Y'all, it's not depleted to the point it can't be used. Never throw your soil away. You just move it to another spot and add amendments to it. Oh, you scared me. I didn't see you standing there. Y'all, she scared me. Can you fill this back up with compost right there? So I don't have to do a 3-point turn and get up. Yeah, organic land and seed. That's what we're going to add to that pocket. This pocket looks a little low, so I'm going to go ahead and add some compost to it as well. Since I'm sitting down here, I might as well take care of these pockets. Okay, I have these pockets, all 6 of them. I went ahead and added soil to all 6 of them. You know what? I am going to go ahead and turn just one of these pockets, just one, into that tomato I was telling you about. Why not, right? Why not? We'll put one over here and one over there. So I have one little cell here of tomatoes, but I got 2 growing on one side and 2 on the other side, and I'm going to leave those 2 together. I'm just going to split them in half. I like to add mycos to any of my transplants, and I normally do this for all transplants. So I had someone ask, wait a minute, I thought mycos is already in the soil. It's definitely already in Happy Frog and probably in some of the other soils out there. And some of them have mycorrhizals in it. That is a true statement. Some do have them in it. But I like to add it because it helps the roots really take off. It says here that mycos is a natural and organic species of beneficial soil fungi. It creates a sponge-like mask which collects and stores nutrients and water. Mycos does not contain any other microbes other than the mycorrhizal that we're talking about. Improves root structure, increases nutrient uptake, promotes natural biology, great for vegetables, fruits, herbs, and flowers, and will not burn if used directly. So I've been using this for years. I don't know if you need it or not, but when you got something that works, I'm not going to change it. All right. So I put 2 of those little Verona flowers in there in that pocket. In this pocket right here, I'm going to add some of those onion that I was talking about. We'll use this one since there's only 2 in it. This is ruby red onion. There only 2 came up. Ruby red onion. See how the wiry roots look there? And there's the other one right there. And I like to put 2 onion per pocket initially. And so I'm not going to use mycos on my onion. It's just too hard to get the roots underneath and all that kind of stuff. You probably could. I just don't. Not on onion. I am going to plant this, covering all the little wiry roots. Like when you buy these from like your farmer's market or the big box store, you have it shipped to it. They cut a lot of these wiry roots off, so you only have like this many. I could do that. Let's do that. I've never done that before. I've always just tried to bury all those little wiry roots. Let's cut to where it's only about an inch long. Let's just see what happens. But anyway, we're going to put all the little wiry roots in the ground and just a teeny little bit of what would be white if it was a white onion or yellow, but this is a red onion. So I'm going to put just a teeny little bit in there. And once those roots get happy, that onion will stand straight on up. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. That's something I've never done before, is cut those wiry roots off. Let's see if that affects or not how quickly this onion takes off. So I start with 2 onion, and then I will harvest one kind of young, right? It'll start bulbing up and I'll harvest it small. And then I will let the other one go all the way until the green part starts to die back. And then I'll harvest the other one. But this way, I'm not wasting space in the pocket while I'm waiting to get to that point. So that's 2 of the 3 pockets. And then we get to this third pocket here, and we got to decide what we want to do. The first thing I'm going to do is cut these back a little farther. Don't need them sticking up that high. There we go. And so for this pocket, what else do we want to put in here, y'all? I guess we're going to go ahead and put 2 more onion in here. So these are yellow sweet Spanish onion. I don't want dirt all over the bottom of my grow tent because I've already swept it out one time today, y'all. There's 1 and there's 2 because we're putting 2 in the pocket. I'm going to trim my roots up. Uh-oh. Here comes the farm dog. Farm dog's coming. Let me get my onion up. Okay, we're going to put 2 onion in here. We're going to put 1 on that side, 1 on that side. Yellow sweet onion, Spanish onion. That's one of my favorites, y'all. I love sweet onion. Now, they don't store as long, usually. Sweet onions don't store as long, but they won't make you cry either. They're not as pungent, which is what I like about them. I don't need to be crying when I'm trying to cook dinner. I like a nice sweet onion. But that's okay, y'all. They don't last as long in storage, but you can cut them up and freeze them and you still can cook with them. I've found ways to keep the onion growing or keep the onion in storage longer by doing that step. This one is done. The top, I don't need to do anything up here. We already have, let me double check. Y'all, my farm dog done got in my basket. She already taken my green beans. Look at that. Look at that. She already taken my green beans. Leave my cucumbers. The green beans were for you, but you can't have the cucumbers. There she go, eating the green beans. I'm going to have to put my cucumbers up here just to save the cucumbers. Anyway, up here in the top, y'all, the only thing I need to do is backfill just a little bit. I see a couple places that could use a little more soil. So we will go ahead and backfill. I mean, we're in February. This was originally put in place in, I think, November. Now, this GreenStalk is completely done. We've already reset it up. It's ready to go. It's fully laid out again. There are no empty pockets. So now let's move over next door here and figure out what we're going to put in these other pockets. Well, y'all, she didn't leave me any beans. I got 4 little beans in here. That's all I got left. All the rest of them gone. She took all of them. I'm going to put my basket up here. And the first thing we're going to do over here in this GreenStalk, y'all, we're going to harvest our orange hat tomatoes. She can't have those, y'all. I need those for my salad. I'm harvesting every week tomatoes and about every other week right now on my cucumbers, but I believe it's getting ready to increase. But I'm harvesting enough that they're lasting at the moment anyway. I don't know how long that's going to be true. I think that's it for the tomatoes. Not many, but a handful. And we're going to get a few more upstairs in a little bit. So now we are going to put some more tomatoes in this top tier. I got a spot right here for them. I'm gonna put tomatoes right here. And what did I do with my micros? There it is. We'll get our micros in. Add our tomatoes. There's the other half. We're gonna get those in this pocket right here. Let's get them in there. For my micro dwarf tomatoes, usually with my tomatoes, I try to bury 2/3 of the plant. With micro dwarf tomatoes, y'all, I bury everything but those top leaves. That's it. It's all going under. And most of micro dwarf tomatoes usually is anywhere from 6 inches up to at most 2 feet tall. But usually I'm around the 12-inch mark. So I got the tomatoes in. So this is my pepper GreenStalk. That's what this is right here. So anything that I'm putting in over here, I don't want it to have to take like 90 days to harvest, because eventually I'm going to have to come out of here and go outside with my peppers, and I want to be able to put all of my peppers in here. So the top tier, I could turn it into a tomato top tier if I had to, but all the other tiers, I want to make sure that I continue for this to be a pepper GreenStalk. So for, okay, where was it? Where were we getting ready to work? We're getting ready to work right here in this pocket right here. And we're going to put some lettuce in there. For the lettuce, I have 2 different varieties. I have a Burgundy Delight and I have a Heat Wave. Heat Wave is a variety of lettuces from my understanding. Lettuce can grow in partial sun. So I can put lettuce down lower here and know that it'll still be okay. And then I have another pocket all the way down on the bottom tier. Down here, I have one more pocket that we can put something in. And we will put the Burgundy Delight down here. Lettuce, usually you can harvest it at any stage, but I know that we'll have it harvested before we need to head outside with it. So we've taken care of everything downstairs. So now let's run upstairs and harvest the rest of those vegetables and get this video wrapped up. And y'all, I got a problem up there that you need to see. So we are upstairs in my upstairs grow area. Up here, I have my 2 hydroponic systems. So in this system here, I had a problem with my tomatoes being top heavy and they had fallen over. So I went ahead and put some twine up here to kind of help hold it up. And I went ahead and I harvested all of my cucumbers. Y'all, I did this and I didn't have my camera on. I thought I did, but I didn't. But these are my quick snack and mini me cucumbers. This is how they look. And this is the cucumber I prefer over the Firm Secret. The quick snack and mini me cucumbers, they're thin skin, small seed cavity, super sweet, delicious. The Firm Secret has a smaller seed cavity as well, but the skin's tough. So I have to, scrape off the skin on these. But I ended up with 9 cucumbers out of here between upstairs and downstairs, y'all. Look at that cucumber harvest from indoors. Indoors, y'all, in February. I also harvested just a few more tomatoes, not many. I'm harvesting orange hat tomatoes up here. Didn't harvest many. So I cleaned up the unit. So I got all this stuff here I need to get rid of. I also have some of my cucumbers that they're pretty much finished, y'all. They're done. They're not going to do anything else. I pulled those out, cut them away. I had a tomato or 2 that did the same thing. So I cut those out and I planted 2 more cucumbers. I think they're Firm Secret, y'all, though, just to be honest with you. So I can keep that cucumber harvest coming. So there's 2 pockets with Firm Secret in it. Now, I really don't need a lot more. I got cucumbers growing in several different places. So we've been downstairs. You saw the Firm Secret. We harvested. There's plants down there in 2 pockets. I have another GreenStalk just to the side over here that has cucumbers growing in it. And then I have the cucumbers here. But I just don't want to run out. I don't want to run out of cucumbers. I want to continue to eat fresh vegetables all winter long. So that's why I went ahead and started 2 more cucumbers here. I had a question on how do I fertilize my hydroponic systems. Now downstairs, I talked about how I add a liquid fertilizer it used to be 10 to 14 days, but indoors, since I'm putting less fertilizer in when I'm watering indoors, I have been doing it now about once a week, and I've seen a lot of benefits from doing it once a week. But I'm using Grow Big downstairs for the green stalks and for the young seedlings. I don't use that in my hydroponic system. For my hydroponic system, y'all, I don't add any additional fertilizer beyond parts A and parts B. Every time I add water to the hydroponic systems, I look at the measuring, it tells me how much I need, and I add part A and B every time that I add water to the unit. You can buy the brand for the unit that you have. There are some generic brands out there. I looked at them. It looks like all of the same ingredients are in there. You don't have to buy the most expensive ones. You can buy it by the gallon even. I've seen it that way. But parts A and B, that's what I put in here every time I add water. I think that's everything that I told you the first time, but you weren't here because I didn't have the camera on. But there's our little harvest of what's left of the harvest. Green beans are gone, thanks to Button. Button's already done had her lunch today. And then we got these cucumbers. 9 cucumbers is more than enough to get me through a week, if not a little bit more. And then just a few tomatoes here. But that's it. I'm glad you could hang out with me today, getting some garden maintenance done and resetting some of the green stalks, among other things. And I hope you decide to come back and hang out with me again real soon. We are starting lots of young seedlings, getting ready for the things that need to go outside. We're cooking and preserving, and we're enjoying fresh vegetables all winter long. So until next time, and I hope there'll be a next time that you choose to hang out with me at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.